Hello again, Geek Planeteers, it's Matt here, and I've got another unboxing for you. This time for the collector's edition of Infamous 2, the Hero Edition, as it says just there in tiny letters that you probably can't make out, thanks to my shitty camera. So, Infamous, yes, I'm a massive fan of this series. I got into it quite late, when the second game had already been released. I started playing the first one, maybe about 5 years ago, I think. Can't remember when it came out. And just sort of got immediately hooked. Went out and bought the second one. A bit like with Mass Effect, actually. Got into that a bit late. Played the first one, loved it. Went straight out and bought the second one. So did the same here with Infamous. Infamous 2, I still think is the better of the first two. The first two games, the PlayStation 3 generation games. This one also, I mean, I've got a digital copy because it came up on PSN for stupidly cheap, and then I bought physical copies because I like having physical copies of things, and then this one came up in the aforementioned sort of gaming bargains aggregate feed. So this is something that would have retailed for about 80 quid, I think, originally, and I got it for 20. Now, I should state, because I didn't point this out in the last video, I mean, the Castlevania Collector's Edition I picked up simply because it was a tenner, and actually I thought for a tenner, oh, me banging the camera there, for a tenner I thought it would be worth picking up to do, something to do a video on, basically. Not a Castlevania fan. I am a massive Infamous fan, which is why when I saw this coming up for cheap, I sort of rushed out and grabbed it. Generally, I'm against collector's editions, and the reason for that is I don't think they should come out before the game comes out. When you think of DVDs and Blu-rays, collector's editions come out on the anniversary of the movie, or a little while after, when it's clear that this was it was a popular movie and therefore they could double dip. And yes, maybe that's a bit cynical, but the thing is, generally with video games, a game comes out and they're like, oh yes, and we're offering it on with a day one collector's edition. You're like, yeah, but what if the game is shit? Like Colonial Marines, Aliens Colonial Marines is a great example of that. Again, as I keep repeating, this is a game that I actually quite enjoyed, but it is hideously, hideously flawed, and it's fair to say that a vast majority of the gaming community pretty much loathed and despised it. The collector's edition of that was selling for $79.99, and you got your sort of plastic statuette, and yes, you got, camera again, yes, you got a couple of Colonial Marines patches and so forth, which, if you're a cosplayer or something, would be come in great handy. But the game was appalling, and you've spent 75 quid on the game that you hate, as opposed to the, $39.99 or $34.99 that you can usually find it for with careful shopping online. So I've always thought that collector's editions of video games should be a re-release thing. It's like, if you're a fan, we're now going to do this Prestige edition that comes with, basically do that instead of the Game of the Year edition, or as a limited edition version of the Game of the Year edition. That's kind of what I think with collector's editions. But anyway, so on this occasion, I do buy, I bought the collector's edition of Mass Effect 3, for example. I actually have all of the collector's editions now, picked up secondhand here, there, and everywhere, but because I'm a massive fan of the series, and I didn't think there was any way I could be disappointed by it, and, I was right. Infamous 2, couldn't afford the collector's edition at the time, which was still doing the rounds, so I'm glad I managed to get a copy. Anyway, I haven't really cracked this open before, as you see, bit dusty, been on the shelf for a while, because I wanted to save it for you guys. So, I think it does say on one of the end caps what's in it, but I can't remember precisely. So I think I'll just leave that as a surprise, and we'll just sort of open this up. There may be jump cutting, depending on whether or not I can do this without making a mess. Let's have 1 second. Let's get around here. Oh, bang. I know I'm pinging the microphone. Yes, consummate professional, ladies and gentlemen, and call on a cable. Caught on a cable, do. Something that rhymes with cable. Okay, so flimsy outer box, inner box, corrugated cardboard, but I don't suppose I can complain. So, there's a little tabby thing there, so presumably, does this lift up? Oh no. I really hate these cardboardy tabby things. You're never sure which bit you're supposed to undo first. Okay, here we go. So what we got? Right, well, first off the bat, here's the thing that I did remember was in here. Which is, it's a replica of Cole's bag. his messenger bag, because of course he was a courier, which is apparently how he learned his parkour and stuff. So I'm going to, like, part of me doesn't want to take it out of the bag, but it feels like I'm cheating you if I don't. So I'm going to try not to rip anything or tear anything, so I can reseal this afterwards. It belongs in a museum. Okay, so this is Cole's bag. Oh, that's actually a lot bigger than I thought it was. Bloody hell. That looks like quite a nice bag. Like, I'd use... I mean, it's a sling bag, so it's supposed to go sort of around your back or whatnot. There's a... Oh, zippy bit and there, and... So pop this down, you can see this a bit better. That's actually really nice. You'd probably look a bit silly getting on the tube wearing that or whatever, but as long as you don't mind. I mean, that's quite spacious. That's awesome. And I also know my One More co-host Kim is going to be dead jealous about that, because she's always wanted one. So, in your face, Hallam. Right, next in the box. The ubiquitous statue. There we go. That is actually... I mean, that's very solid, heavy plastic. This isn't flimsy like the Lords of Shadow ones. And he's a bit beaten up there, in terms of he's got his scar and whatnot. That's actually a really nice sculpt and a pretty good paint job. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. And I love the thing on his leg. It always looked like a Union Jack flag to me. Or Union flag, rather. Yeah. Yeah. I like that a lot. Oh, he's got his amp on the back and his tattoo. You can see. Yeah, no, I like that a lot. In fact, that's nice enough that I might actually assemble it and stick it on display on a shelf anywhere I can find space. If I do that, I'll maybe stick a little bit at the end so you can see it out in its assembled glory. So, what does that leave? Well, presumably the game itself. Oh, what have we got in here? Right. Oh, there's a comic. Ooh. Oh, I must stop picking that camera. Oh, okay, it's just a little sort of mini Infamous comic. Oh, and there was a social game on Facebook. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Art looks pretty good, but it's oh dear. So that's got we've got a printing or a binding error there. That's a bit. Oh, that's a shame. That's got smegged up in the box. Oh, it is a printing error. Look, it's a cutting error. That's why that's happened. So there's a little comic. There's only a few pages, so presumably it's a preview edition, because I know there was an Infamous comic at this point. And then there's the, don't know if this captures on camera, but this is a lenticular edition of the game. It's like a plasticky digipack thing, which is nice. And there'll be DLC, exclusive DLC in there. That's still sealed. That's really cool. I like that a lot. He's good, he's evil. He's good, he's evil. So there we go. Okay, let's pop that down there as well. So, okay. So, as with Castlevania, let's sort of consider this for your, whatever it would have been, 70 quid, I think, at the time, 80 quid at the time. I do think collector's editions are priced, but I think, you know, you're talking like Lords of Shadow, you got an art book, which was nice and hardbound, but it wasn't amazing, you know. You got a steel book with the game, and you got some DLC, obviously, and you got some very flimsy plastic figurines, and it really didn't feel like it was worth 100 quid. It really didn't. There was clearly a massive markup on that. But I mean, here you're getting, I mean, don't get me wrong, this bag isn't made of, you know, like leather or anything like that. It's you know, but it is padded. And it is fully functional, and it's actually a really nice bag. It's got a little pouch there as well for your mobile phone, I guess. So that goes over your shoulder and stuff. And actually, as somebody with a shoulder disability, I can't really carry rucksacks very comfortably. So this would go over one shoulder and sort of around the back. And it's not as spacious as a regular backpack, but there's a sort of, you know, a day bag, you know. I really like that, you know, that's, you know. I mean, sure, I'm sure there are other bags like that out there, but that aren't particularly branded, but yeah, you know, the statuette is very heavy. You know, it is still plastic, but it's very heavy and it's solid. I like the packaging. I mean, yes, steelbooks are nice and they're the generally go-to thing, but that's just something a little bit different. And I'm pretty sure I actually already own the DLC that got bundled with it, and you get some skins and things like that. But do I think it's worth 80 quid? Fundamentally, no. I don't think it's worth 80 quid. Again, I think most collector's editions are stupidly overpriced for what you get. But I think it's more worth its asking price than the Castlevania one was, if that makes sense. And there's actually a lot of nice feelies in here. That is, by the way, the technical term for little extra things given in a game package is feelies, which is something I found out recently, and it's a lovely word. I like it quite a lot. But yeah, I mean, for what you... yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I mean, for 20 quid, that's phenomenal, you know. For the original RRP, you know, maybe not so much, but you get some great stuff. So yeah, there we go. The infamous 2 Collector's Edition.